Joining us now for a closer look at these protests is Michael Daly, special correspondent for Newsweek and the Daily Beast. Michael, good morning to you.
How are you?
We heard this young lady in the piece say, we want the big dudes to pay. But, there's a potpourri of things going on down there. In the real picture, what are these folks trying to accomplish?
I think it's hard. These folks is such a varied number. I mean, as you saw in the report there, I think it's not so much what they're trying to accomplish as what they're trying to express. I think the one thing that runs through all of them is that a feeling that there's just a fundamental unfairness, and from their point of view, the very people who almost wrecked the U.S. economy on Wall Street continue to get wealthy while working people are struggling to pay their bills. I mean, I think it comes down to that.
We heard another young lady in the piece say there is no deadline here. There's no call to go home. There's no end date for this. What will it take, do you think, for the protesters, not only in Wall Street, but all over the country, to pack up and go home?
Well, you know, it's not the Arab Spring, it's the New York fall. It's going to get cold. I think the policeman's friend in this case may be weather.
They say that's going to be the factor that will probably make things
I would think. I mean, there's talk this morning that maybe they'll move to Washington Square, which does have a curfew, which would end things rather abruptly, I think. But if they stay there, I think they probably could just keep going. President
Obama referenced the protests this week, said he understood them. House Republicans, the House Republican majority leaders on Friday called them growing mobs. What do these types of comments do to the protesters in terms of their resolve?
Well, you know, the people are talking about them. I mean, you know, if nobody was talking about them, I think that would probably send them home. But I mean, if you have the President of the United States acknowledging you, and then if you had the Republicans calling you a mob, then you're really starting a conversation, which is, you know, if there they are accomplishing something.
Mm-hmm. You're sympathetic to the protesters. You wrote this week that some of them find it quite ironic that they're being arrested, being handcuffed by police, but the people they're protesting have not been handcuffed.
Well, I mean, what I'm sympathetic is the sense that there's an unfairness that you can wreck the U.S. economy and you don't end up in handcuffs, but if you make a turn onto the Brooklyn Bridge and block traffic, you get collared. And I don't think that there's a problem. It's not a question of law enforcement, it's a question of the law. I mean, the law is very clear. If you go and block traffic, you're going to get arrested. The law is not so clear as if you're a rating agency and inflate the ratings in order to get more business.
Are you surprised that this movement has gotten so large?
Not really. I just, you know, most people, I mean, the least American thing is unfairness. I mean, the whole country got started with fairness. I mean, the original Tea Party was all about fairness. The Constitution is a document about fairness. And if there's a wide feeling that there's unfairness, then, you know, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
Okay, Michael Daly, we appreciate your insight. Thanks a lot.